So just mm, all right. Let me know if you can still hear me in the chat. Type of one in the chat if you can still hear me. All right, awesome. So as you guys know, this was XRP, and it went exactly as we wanted on the chart. Came down. Came all the way down here to the 4 point and made a big, huge wave past our target of 75 cents, all the way up to 90 cents. 90 cents. So, but be careful if you're still in XRP. It could come down back to 75 at least to kind of retrace, as this is the 5 point. And if you on Manny sessions, you will know that after the 5 point, there is some kind of cool down, right? Which will set up for a reversal. I'm having a hard time trying to drag my 5 point. There we go. Sheesh. So you can trade XRP on any MT4 MT4 broker that offers cryptos. And if you need a broker like that, you can send an email to tradetrainers@epictrading.com, and they should be able to give you a list of suggested brokers. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the questions. All right, we have one person. All right, Joseph Warren. If you have any questions, if you want to, you can type in the chat or just simply type unmute, and I can unmute you to ask your question. Unmute, okay. All right, you can go ahead and unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. So I have a question about the settings on my trading view. When I go for when I go to bring out the long position or the short position tool, I have trouble reading the pip counts and everything, or the point counts when I do the long or the short position. Um, how do I set that up to where I can actually understand it, like where the pip counts and everything?
Really all depends on the pair you're trading. So if you're trading currency pairs, the long position and short position tool shows you your pips like this. So let me pull it up really quick. So here's a long position tool. So let me go to an actual currency pair though. All right. That's long position, right? As you can see, there's like data right here on the long position tool that you can use. So right here is where sorry guys. So when you highlight the long position tool and the short position tool, you're gonna have these little windows. Have these stats at the top and the bottom and the middle. Now, see where it says target, it says 0.000514, it says 44%, 0.44%. And then right after the parentheses, there's a 51.4. That 51.4 is your pip count. So you don't even need to count them on your own. You can just adjust your entry. As you know, as you can see, it changes. And as you adjust your entry, it tells you your target to be 42 pips, right? Your stop loss right here, you want to put it down here, that's 42 pips. Does it make sense? All right. Do you have any other questions for me? Or any follow-up questions? Okay, cool. All right, next up, who else has questions? Anybody else have any questions? Raise your hand using the reactions. If you go to reactions, click on it and go to raise hand. You should be able to find it. If you have any questions, raise your hand and I can call on you. So you're gonna go hover over to the bottom of Zoom, go to reactions, and you'll see raise hand. If you're on your mobile, you're gonna click on the three dots that says more. You should see raise hand on your tab. Okay. Raise hand is not an option for me. It should be an option for you. All right. So Dornessa Harris. Let me know if you want to be unmuted. If you're on your mobile, I would go to participants to see if raise hand is a option for you. Okay, unmute you. All right, go ahead. You can unmute.
Okay, I have a question about TradingView. Are we allowed to ask those questions here?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I've learned a couple of days ago, like the engulfing candle, that there's a signal on under FX, or indicator. So I went to try and put the signal on. I have it starred in yellow, but it's not showing up on my chart as to. I'm trying to learn how to find out when the trend is going to change. And I know the engulfing candles are one, and there's an indicator there. But when I click on the indicator with the stars, the change in color, I think it said that it's supposed to change in color. It'll highlight it and show you the engulfing candles. Can you show me how to set that? Yeah, I go through that right there, and then I put in there have a yellow star.
Okay. So engulfing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually select it though. When you star it, it just makes it a favorite. And it should show up like on the side.
Oh, could it possibly not be showing up because my screen is black, and that's why I'm not seeing it?
That is a possibility. Yeah, that could be a possibility. I don't think so. Actually, it would show up if your background is black, it should show up. Like white letters. But you do not see like these indicators right here. Like it says BE on it.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. So I want you to go into your trading view right now. Go to FX, and instead of starting it, actually press it. Press the actual option.
Okay, I'm going to trading view. Second. Okay, I'm in trading view.
All right. Go to FX indicators and strategies. I'm on my mobile, so it looks different. But it should be at the top if you're on the laptop or desktop.
Yeah, mine is up at the top. FX indicators, I'm there.
Yeah, go to candlestick patterns.
Okay, I'm there.
And just click on engulfing bearish or engulfing bullish.
Okay.
Instead of star.
On it. Okay.
So does it show up on you?
No, I don't see those. I don't see those light colors like that you have on yours.
All right. Do you see it on the side though that says engulfing?
Oh, maybe it's these dash lines. Is there a way to? Because if I'm looking at these lines that are dashed, these look like it's going through the engulfing candle. So that's probably why. Maybe I have it set. I don't have it set correctly. Is there a way to change the
Yeah, on the side, if you see the indicator listed as engulfing, if you see that, you can select it, go to the gear icon, and change the color of the labels.
Okay, say that one more time, please.
On the side on the top left hand side, you'll see the list of indicators. Right under where it says the pair. Do you see engulfing?
Pair engulfing. So you want me to close out indicators and strategies? Close that out?
Yeah, close that out. Close that window. Now you're looking at your chart, right?
Okay. Yes.
Now do you see do you see engulfing on the top left hand corner of the chart? Top
left hand corner of the chart, engulfing.
It's like listed there.
I see okay, I'm at the currency pair.
Mm-hmm.
I see. No, I don't see engulfing.
Okay. You say you have a black background, correct?
Yes.
So go to your settings.
Okay, settings. I'm a newbie here, so let me see settings.
It should be a gear icon at the top, on the bottom right, where the scale of your prices are at the bottom of it.
Okay.
Or you could just right click on the chart.
Okay, so right click on the chart. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see settings. Okay, I'm in settings now.
You're in settings now. Okay. Go to let me see. Go to appearance.
Okay.
Your background is solid, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, right next to it is a selection of colors. Just choose white.
Selection of colors. Okay, so white. Change it to white. Okay. All right, it's white. Mhm.
All right. So now you should see at the top left-hand corner under where names. Do you know the pair you're on right now?
Great Britain pound USD.
Okay. It should say it should say Great Britain pound / USD dollar, whatever the
Yes.
time frame, right?
Yes.
So right under that, do you see engulfing? Engulfing dash bear SMA 50.
No, it says it gives the pricings, one in red and one in blue square. And then it has EMA 9 closed, EMA, and it has a number there. It doesn't have anything else there but three, and it has three of those there.
Okay, okay. All right. I want you to close those. Hover over them and just press the X.
Okay, so X. Okay, they're closed.
Okay, now go back to FX indicators.
Okay, so let me close out chart settings.
Yeah.
Go to FX indicators. Okay.
Candlestick patterns, and then look for engulfing and select it again.
Okay. Okay. Now I see the name engulfing.
Okay. Do you see it on your chart now? How it's highlighted?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. I see it on the chart too.
Okay, perfect. What happened was that you already had 3 indicators on, and it wasn't allowing you to add another indicator. So you had to close those indicators out.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
Right.
All right. All right, who else? All right, Gary. Let me know if you want to be unmuted, or you can ask a question into the chat. Yes, this class is every Monday night at 9 p.m. All right, Gary, you're up next. Let me know if you want to be unmuted. Type in the chat if you want to be unmuted, or type your question in the chat. All right, unmute. All right, you may unmute.
Hey, Josh. Can you do me a favor and on the fib retrace, could you show how to place that? And the other thing is when I do it, the numbers that you guys are going over or talking about on the placement, what is it, 61 point, whatever that is, I don't have those numbers. I keep getting percentages. So is it a button that I need to click on to see the numbers that you guys read it off of?
Well, the percentages is the 61.8 are percentages. So if you see that, that's correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm not seeing.
Okay, you're not seeing percentages.
No.
Okay. All right, let's look it over really quick. All right, so we're going to select fib retracement.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. So you're gonna click on it once. You're gonna tap once. Then you're gonna drag it over however you want to drag it. And then you're gonna tap it one more time to let go, to release. So that way it stays on the screen. Now, when you tap on it, a window's supposed to pop up like this, or you can right click and you can click on settings. Okay. Now, this is when you go to style here, you'll see my settings, my personal settings. But if you want to look at percentages, you want to check off levels right here. Make sure that the percents is selected. Your labels, it can be on the right, left, center, the middle, top, or bottom. I like to put them in the right middle.
I'm actually doing a self-portrait for school.
And the way you put in these numbers is like this.
Post that when it's done.
So 0.382, which is 38.2%. 0.618, which is 61.8%. 0.236, which is 23.6. 0.5, which is 50%. So on and so forth. Then you click on OK, and it should show up like this. All right. You're gonna see.
You
You see the percentages right here at the right middle.
know, we almost caught it.
Right. If you have it on the left, it might be over here in the left middle. It might show up here, depending on how your labels are set up.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You can also put the prices. You can uncheck the prices as well. So if I uncheck the prices, you'll see I only have the percentage here. But I like to keep the prices so that way I know what to put on my MT4.
That's all I felt. Okay, satisfied.
Make sense?
Okay, where did you, yeah, I'm just looking for where you did the right click. That's what I'm not getting, where you got to the screen here.
So you have it on you have the fib retracement on your screen, correct?
Uh-huh.
Just hover over it and then right click on it.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay, I got it now. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yep.
You have any other questions?
No, that's it.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
I'll work on this now.
All right, next up is Eric. Eric, let me know if you want to be unmuted, or you can type your question in the chat. Give it a little minute for Eric to respond. If not, I'll move on to the next person. All right. So next person is NCHOLLE, the Royal. I'm sorry if I don't want to butcher your name, so that's why I spelled it out. So let me know if you want to be unmuted, or you can type your question into the chat. All right. You may unmute.
Hi, it's Nicole. How are you? Yeah,
I'm
this
good.
is my very first class. Still going through the 2-week syllabus. So is this where I would come if I have questions? So far, pretty much understanding the videos, but you just showed, I guess, what was that, a fib retracement? I haven't gotten to that yet. But so I guess basically my question was, is this where I would come if I have questions? The videos have been pretty much self-explanatory and very helpful. So I don't have questions just yet. But
No, yeah, for sure. You would definitely, if you have any questions, you come to this class and you can answer them live. You can also send a question to studyhall@epictrading.com if it's something that you want to send immediately after. We also look at those too. So, and answer.
Okay. Yeah, so the videos that I'm going through, I'm understanding, which is I'm surprised they're really helpful. But okay, thank
Amazing.
you so much. That was my only question for right now.
And I just want to ask a question. Are you like completely new to Forex trading, or have you had
Yeah.
prior experience?
Yeah, I'm a newbie. I've looked at different videos, YouTube University kind of thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm able to follow those videos. I'm able to follow and take notes, but I don't really have any. I thought they were all very well explained to me. But when you just showed something, a fib retracement, I haven't got to that yet. So I definitely am going to have a question about that.
Yeah, using the fib retracements is more intermediate question, but
Oh, okay.
somebody just asked how to change the settings on TradingView, so that's more beginner stuff. So
Okay.
definitely not going to explain how to use a fib retracement on this class. So
Oh, okay.
but I'm glad. Welcome to Epic, and I'm glad that you are enjoying your education.
Thank you so very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Eric, are you still with me? You're the only one have your hands raised. Let me know if you want to be unmuted or put your question into the chat. If anybody else have any questions, please raise your hand. That way I can call on you and I don't miss your question. I'm not really looking at the chat until I'm calling on someone. All right. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Janelle, if you would like to be unmuted, let me know. Or if you can ask your question into the chat. All right. You may unmute.
All right, thank you. Good night. All right, you pronounced my name correctly. Thanks. Okay, so I just started going through basic one and then basic two. What I want to know is how to plug in. For example, I want to know how to do a market execution. I only saw a video where it spoke about buy limit and sell limit, but don't really know how to plug in the market executions. I don't know if I'm moving too fast, but yeah, that's basically my question.
All right. That would be answered at the end of basics too. When you are looking at the tutorial for taking a signal, I explain. I actually go through MT4 and place a trade live with a market execution. So go through a couple more videos, and once you get there, you'll be able to see how it's done. But it's pretty self-explanatory. The same way you'll go to see how to place a buy limit, sell limit. It just says market execution, and then you'll just press on buy and sell at the order page on MT4. So hopefully that helped out a little bit. All right. Next person is Tawana. Let me know if you want to unmute, or you can ask a question to the chat. All right, you may unmute.
Hi, yes, it's Tawana. I was wondering, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I was wondering if you can kind of give us an example, like with the support and resistance and the trend line, looking at what an entry point might be. Comfortable with like seeing an engulfing, but maybe if like it hits the trend line or the support, how we can determine if it's a buy or a sell.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been through the market structure video?
Market structure video. I've been through the back office but I don't remember the name of that one specifically. I'm in the process of going back through it again.
Okay. So the market structure is going to be key to helping you know when to buy and sell, or if you should be in buys or if you should be in sells. Support and resistance and trend lines are just areas where price is most active. And at these areas, you can determine whether what market structure is doing to these areas, and those are basically your entry. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna share my screen, and I'll give an example of what that looks like, just to answer your question a little bit deeper.
Thank you.
Okay, so right now we're on Euro USD, right? Let's delete this. Let's get rid of all this stuff because we don't need all this. Right now, if you are still unmuted, let me know what kind of trend are we in? Are we uptrending, downtrending,
Down.
or consolidating, or downtrending? Right. So what does that mean? Does that mean we are buying or are we selling?
We're selling.
We're selling. All right. So right now we're on the 4-hour chart. Right. Obviously, you want to go from the higher time frames to the lower time frames, but this is just for example. For your trend lines, you want to, make sure it's going on a downward direction. Make sure it's hitting, it's touching 3 or more points. So as you can see, it's in this particular example, it bounced off here, 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 and it broke through the trend line right here.
Right.
Okay. So typically, if you want to have an early entry, that would be your entry. You see that engulfing candle that broke through the trend line?
Yes.
That would be your entry for a buy, right? Because it's on a downtrend, it broke through a trend, and that would be the buy. Now, if we add our support and resistance, I'm going to use a horizontal ray for this one. You can mark off key levels that were once support and became resistance. Okay, like so. Let me put this in horizontal mode.
Are you
So
doing
you
this
see-
on your phone?
Yeah, from my phone, yes.
Okay.
So this is resistance right here, right? Obviously at this point, we didn't know if this was going to be resistance or not, right? Because this is where it's at. But if you know market structure, you can see that it made a big move to the downside and came up, right? And it just so happens that when it came up to these areas where price was most reactive. You can see right here, right? So it came down, came up, retested, and then made another move to the downside.
Okay.
So now you have a resistance up here, a resistance here, and now we're looking to kind of create a new resistance, right? So this resistance here, this support becomes resistance as it retests twice. And now it's creating a second point for the trend line. All right. So since we are on a downtrend, we're looking for sells, right? So this would be your entry for the sell, these pullbacks, these retests, right? You could have even took in here a sell.
Okay.
And just kept going. Now, you could still hold this trade if you're in entries here. In these entries, you can still hold the trade as long as this low right here doesn't break above. Because once it breaks above, all it needs to do is come down, retest, and then start making higher highs and higher lows, which will be what? Which will create what? An
Bullet
uptrend.
buy.
Exactly. A bullish uptrend. So now at that point, you're just like, okay, I took my pips. Now I'm stopped out because it broke structure and broke my trend line. And now I can look for buys.
And would it need to do the retest?
Yes, it would need to pull back, come down, and kind of do like this, basically.
I think I'm looking for the retest to be immediate, like right there where it broke structure. And I see kind of like you're going above that area. I think I'm just honing in on that one spot and thinking the retest needs to happen right there.
The retest can happen anywhere, to be honest with you. So right now, that's what I'm saying, kind of, even though it broke through this trend line right here, it can go like this.
Okay.
Because this was the last low right here. So if you know market structure, higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, and lower highs. If it comes up above here,
Right.
it broke structure. If it doesn't and it just retests, you can keep holding sells until you get to a new support, which would be, if you look left, right here, where this purple area is.
Okay.
Let me clean this up a bit because this is kind of where's my eraser? Hold on. There we go. Does that kind of make sense a bit about the support, resistance, and trend lines? And you need to use them with market structure, not by themselves.
Yes, it makes sense. I just need to stop thinking it has to happen in that one area and let that lightning bolt kind of happen in bigger strokes, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where the candlesticks come from, because your candlesticks are going to help you understand when it's going to retest. So, for example, if we see that, let me get my horizontal ray again. If we see it comes back up here and it retests, if we get like a doji, let's say we get a doji up here, then we're like, okay, this is indecision. It might want to reverse back.
Okay.
Or if we get like a evening star here, or if we get a what's another reversal? A bearish engulfing here, then that's going to tell us, okay, this is definitely coming down. It doesn't want to break above, and it wants to continue to be bearish, not bullish.
Okay.
But you can also count this too. You can count this as support and resistance, right? If you count these as support and resistance, and you take,
I'm sorry, what are you counting as support and resistance?
this right here,
I don't see your arrow. Okay. Okay.
this right here, or this right here, can be this can be support, this can be resistance, and you could take a buy to this area and still make pips, right? Let's see how many pips is that. Let me get my ruler. From this entry to this entry here, that's about 58 pips, 55 pips. You can take that.
Okay.
But just know that you're counter trending. And we don't know how far it wants to keep going. It could come up to here and then reverse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about how the market is reacting and how you are reacting to it when it makes these types of moves.
Now, besides that one video in the back office for market structure, how else can we brush up on this to see multiple scenarios played out?
Back testing. So you will look at that. You will look at the video and you would back test multiple pairs and see how being played out, because each pair has its own type of market structure. So EU could look bearish on the 4-hour, but on UJ it looks bullish.
Okay. And in
on the
order
4-hour.
to do that on TradingView, you have to have the paid version
No,
to do the back testing?
no, I don't think you do.
Okay.
Back testing is just going back to the past.
Oh, not necessarily having to replay and.
Yeah, you don't have to have the replay option feature.
Okay.
It helps, but it's not necessary to do back testing, because you can just back testing is literally just marking up your charts in the past and writing notes out.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
this is my support, it's my resistance, broke structure here, things like that.
Okay.
All right. So it makes sense a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
All right, perfect. All right. Aaron Harley, let me know if you want to be unmuted. You can ask your question into the chat. Aaron Harley, do you want to be unmuted, or would you like to type your question into the chat? Okay. You may unmute.
Hey, how you doing? I'm a newbie as well, and my question is about time frames. Is there any particular time frame we should be starting on to try to grasp this? I see you on the 4-hour now. Is that pretty standard, or should we be on the hour, 15 minutes?
Well, Aaron, let me ask you a question. Do you know your trading style yet?
Not at all, and that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to learn so does each candle, say if you're on a 4-hour time frame, is each candle representing 4 hours?
Yes.
Okay, and I guess multiple questions, but one is, could you kind of explain the count, like why are some of the bodies bigger and the wicks long, or is that a beginner question, or?
Yeah, that's definitely a beginner question. It's also explained in basics, I believe, too.
In basics. Okay, maybe I haven't gotten there yet.
And how far have you been into your basics training?
I downloaded the 2-week syllabus. I kind of left the syllabus to read the Candlestick Bible.
Okay.
Just trying to get a grasp of the candles and what they mean before I, walk through the syllabus.
Yeah, for sure. So the candlesticks, just to give like a brief lesson on it. In the Candlestick Bible, I believe it tells you what the anatomy of the candles are, right? So you have the body and you have the wicks. You have the shadow, you have the lower shadow. The body represents your buyers or your sellers. So if it's green, buyers are in control. If it's red, sellers are in control in that time frame. So if you're on like the 4-hour chart, that particular candle, if it's green, that means for that 4-hour period, buyers were in control. If red, sellers were in control. And so the wicks, what it does is it gives you a high and a low price of a tug of war between buyers and sellers. So if you have a long wick to the upside, that means buyers were in control at one point, but then sellers during that 4-hour time frame, that 4-hour period that it was been open, sellers gain control over buyers. and that's why it left that wick at the top. Same reverse is with sellers, right? If you have a wick to the bottom, that means sellers were in control at one point, but then buyers pushed sellers out the way and became stronger within that 4-hour period or whatever time frame you're on. So if you're on the 1 hour, that candle is representing by 1 hour, a 1 hour period. If you're on the 15-minute, that candle is represented by a 15-minute period. And each candle before it is the interval. So you have the current 4-hour candle, then the 4 hours before that, then the 4 hour before that. That's like 8 hours in the past, 12 hours in the past, 16 hours in that past, 24 hours in the past, 20 hours, I mean, and then 24 hours in the past. So that's like what, 8 candles. No, I'm sorry. Like 6 candles behind the current one. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. So if I would consider myself a day trader, intraday trader, what time frame should I be more concerned with?
So for intraday trader, you want to start off from the daily, from
Okay.
the daily time frame.
But do I go bigger than that and come down, or?
No, what you do is you go lower. You go from the higher time frame, which is daily, then go to the 4 hour, then to the 1 hour.
Okay.
And as you are going down, you are looking for key prices that price is being reaction to. You obviously you wanna find your high and your low on the daily. Make sure what trend is in. Are you bullish, bearish, or consolidating? Again, this is all if I'm not making sense, if you go through basics 1 and 2, it will make sense.
Okay.
But I'm just giving you, and for everyone that's also has this question, that's kind of already have been through basics 1 and 2. If you are wanting to do intraday trading, you start from the daily down to the 4 hour. Look for your support, resistance, trend lines, whatever you feel like it's good confluence for you to take trades. Go down to the 1 hour, same thing. And 15 minutes is where you would typically find your entries. You can also find entries on the 1 hour. But if you want earlier entries, I would suggest going to the 15-minute.
Okay.
If you're a scalper, you're going to start from the 1 hour to the 15-minute, to the 5-minute, to the 1 minute. If you are a swing trader, you're going to start from the monthly, then the weekly, then the daily, then the 4 hour. All right. Makes sense to everyone? Type of one in the chat if that made sense. Aaron, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Joseph Warren, let me know if you would like to be unmute. Sure, Cheryl, I'll repeat that. So if you want to be a swing trader, meaning you want to hold trades for more than a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're going to start off from the monthly, go down to the weekly, go down to the daily, and find your entries on the 4 hour. If you are wanting to do a intraday trading, meaning you are going to be holding trades for maybe a couple days, one day to a couple days, you're going to start off from the daily to the 4 hour to the 1 hour, find entries on the 15-minute. And if you want to be a scalper, you're going to start from the 1 hour to the 15-minute to the 5-minute to the 1 minute. And in each of these time frames, you need to find out what's the trend of the market. Are all these time frames following the same trend? Are they all downtrending, or are they all uptrending, or are they all consolidating? You need to find your strong support, your strong resistance. If you want to use a trend line, use a trend line. Your key levels, so on and so forth. All right. So Joseph, to answer your question, how can you recommend how much back testing I should be doing daily? You should back test one pair at least 50 times with your trading plan. So if you have not developed a trading plan yet, I would suggest doing so. Your trading plan will consist of your confluences. It actually, I'm not even gonna list it. Your trading, there is a trading plan template in Epic University under getting started. If you go to getting started, there is a trading plan checklist there for you to print out, or you can write it and type it in, however you do it on your computer, and write it out and have it with you at all times. It's going to explain, it's going to tell you what times to trade, not tell you, but you write down what times you trade, what days you trade, what sessions you trade, what pairs are you going to be trading, what are your confluences, so on and so forth. And that's what's going to be your trading plan. And you want to back test that trading plan at least 50 times on each pair that you want to trade with. Eric, it is definitely too late for the XRP. All right. Is there a set amount of trades that you typically do before using a new strategy? No, not really. If a strategy works, I'm just going to keep using the strategy. I don't look for a new strategy. If I do look for a new strategy, then something's wrong with my old strategy. All right. Now, this is going to be the last question of the night. So for Dornessa Harris, let me know if you want to be unmuted, or you can ask your question into the chat. All right, you may unmute.
Hey, Josh. Just a question. When you are, let's say, when you first get up in the morning and you go to do your markup, what is some of the first steps that you take when you're about to mark up a chart?
Are you talking maybe are you saying maybe a routine I do before I get on my charts, or like once I'm at my charts, what do I look for?
Once you're at your chart, what do you look for?
So I immediately go to the pairs that are that are active on the time I'm looking at. So typically I trade in the mornings, which is New York session. So I'm only looking at pairs with USD or Canadian in it. And I will flip through each pair. I'll go just like what I taught you guys for intraday trading. You want to start from the daily. So that's what I do. I start from the daily on each pair. And I do this pretty fast. So I'll get through all these pairs in under 30 minutes. And that's all USD pairs, all Canadian pairs. So I can get a sense of what pair I'm going to be trading that day. That's going to give me the most probable setup. All right. So if I'm looking at USD CAD, USD JPY, USD Chef, and I see that USD JPY is an or and USD Chef is an but USD CAD looks really good, I'm going to put my focus on USD CAD. And if I'm looking at, let's say, Canadian pairs like CAD JPY, CAD CHF, NZD CAD, those type of pairs, and I see that every other pair doesn't look right to me, according to my trading plan, but NZD CAD looks good and USD CAD looks good, that's the two pairs I'm trading for that day, for that session, for New York session. And then I wait for my confluence to wait to play out, and then I take the trade. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it helps. Type of one in the chat if that helped any of you guys on here. All right. I think it's very important too that before you start trading, you get into the habit of getting your mind prepared for it too. As you may know, I'm out here in ATL, but Coach Max was out here too, and she spoke about, you know, preparing your mind for trading, like before you get to your trading desk, to your trading station. And if you don't have a trading station, then you should have a place where you are focused and without any distractions. Some of you are probably trading with, you know, with distractions in the background, like your kids running around, or, you know, if you don't have any kids, you probably have like a mom or dad around kind of screaming at you in the middle of trading. I know because I've been that. Okay, I've been trading for too long, and then every time I try to trade, I have my mom and dad yelling to do something, and I'm trying to be in the mode. I'm trying to be in the right mindset. All right. Some of y'all need a quiet place to get your mind right, to be prepared, because these markets are going to eat you alive if you're not focused, if you don't follow your trading plan, and if you don't prepare your mind for the volatility of it. All right, trading Forex is no joke, and I feel like a lot of people that come into trading as you know, new, you know, they see the flashy stuff on social media and think it's easy, but it's not. There is a process that you have to go through in order to become a profitable trader, not even a master trader, a profitable trader. If your goal is to be a master trader, then you need to have more training. And to be honest, I don't really believe that there are master traders, because the market is always evolving and there's always something new to learn from the markets. So you can't really truly be a master of Forex trading, because the market, there's always new information. But that's my spiel for the night. I appreciate y'all for hopping on Beginner Study Hall. And definitely it gives me great, it gives me a good feeling that there some of you are like completely new to Forex trading, and that you've gone through basics 1 and 2 and it makes sense already. So that makes me happy. We've worked really, really hard on putting together the Epic University for you guys, and to make it as simple to understand for everyone. So that's my time for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure I'm gonna be on the scalping session with Sham and Manny, so I apologize in advance because I do have to take a flight back tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it back in time, but if I do make it, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I appreciate y'all, and have a good night.